It's good, YouTube. It's your educator. We are roughly 4 days from the presentation of the ROG Ally X, with folks getting the opportunity to see it at Computex this coming June 4th. Just want to go over the latest leaks we've gotten thus far, courtesy of The Verge, video cards, and some marketing slides that dropped on Reddit about a day ago. Basic overview of the stats. So we're still getting the same Z1 Extreme APU by AMD. Same screen size at 7 inches, 120 hertz, 1080p with VRR. Ports have been changed. So instead of the XG mobile port, it's being replaced with the USB 4 port, which I think supports Thunderbolt 3, which will enable us to use a variety of eGPUs rather than just the ones from ASUS. Memory's been updated to 24 gigs LPDDR5X at 7,500 mega transfers per second. Connectivity is the same, so Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.2. The battery's been upgraded to 80 watt hours, which is crazy. And subsequently, so the weight's going to be increased by about 70 grams. But if you look at it, it's roughly less than the Legion Go, slightly more than the Claw, and slightly more than about 40 grams more than the new SD OLED or Steam Deck OLED. And the dimensions, so lengthwise, it's still the same. The device is about 0.3 centimeters shorter and about 0.5 centimeters deeper to accommodate the battery, the new battery. So as far as some thoughts and opinions I have on this, so with regards to the unchanged items, so the APU and the screen being unchanged is just fine. The Z1 Extreme is a great chip. And the screen was, for the time, beautiful, and it's still beautiful even on the current device. What I'm expecting is that there's probably some fine-tuning in the software to make the two components a bit better. Probably with the additional cooling that's going to be added. It probably could make the Z1 Extreme perform a little bit better. Reducing the temperature of the device obviously reduces the risk of thermal throttling. So, we might get some benefits there with the additional cooling. And with the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth being unchanged, you get great download speeds with the current setup. And Bluetooth, I haven't had any issues with either forms of connectivity, so it should all be good. So as far as the items that have been changed, with respect to the memory, with there being a speed and space increase, we should see a slight bit of a performance increase. Maybe not necessarily in the high end. You might get maybe a few frames per second, but definitely on the lower end. So 0.1 and 1% low frame rate should be increased, with the frame times also being increased. So we shouldn't see as many dips if we're playing some of our AAA games. With the increased battery, that's obviously a huge boon. So if you're a type who plays AAA games, the 1 hour and maybe 1 hour change that we see playing things like Starfield, we should maybe get to 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky, and we drop the settings down to 1600 by 900. Reduce the screen brightness. Or reduce the settings down to very low. We should probably get some good mileage out of it now. The increased weight maybe it is a concern. You can kind of say that the device was already too light to begin with. Like it should have accommodated a larger battery. You're still at a pound, so weight's not going to be a big issue. The device width and height has been decreased and increased respectively. This being due to the changes in the cooling, battery, and the removal of the XG port. So this should result in better ergonomics. And with respect to The Verge's Sean Hollister, he already had a chance to touch the device, and he's already singing praises about the ergonomics of the device, so we should be good. The removed XG port and added USB 4 port. I'm actually curious on how on how everything's going to be placed. I'm guessing the USB 4 port is going to be where the existing XG port is, where the former XG port is located. What I'm hoping though is that the SD card is maybe in the same little space where the XG port was. So looking at the design, overall design that was leaked in the slides on Reddit, and so it kind of confirms what was mentioned by The Verge. So all the where the device was originally like blocky along the palm rest and the sides of the device, as well as the grips, are now more rounded. The rear buttons are smaller. The right air intake will be on the left side if you look at it in reverse, but is much larger. The entire bottom case appears to be more rounded, as mentioned. Grips are definitely bigger, more round. The joysticks themselves have increased concavity, as well as additional rubberized material. This was noted by The Verge as well. The D-pad has been updated. You notice that there's dashes along the diagonal of the D-pad. The up and down, left and right has been changed. But you also notice that there's what appears to be gripping material on the up, down, left, and right. The fans have been reduced in size. Now, if you look at it closely, if you say you either have a ROG Ally or maybe looked at pictures of the ROG Ally, you'll notice that the D-pad, the joysticks, and the ABXY buttons have been adjusted just slightly. You'll notice that the left joystick has been moved slightly lower. The D-pad has moved closer to the screen. The right joystick has been moved slightly higher, and the ABXY buttons have been moved slightly lower. You also notice that the right joystick is moved closer to the screen as well. I might have a little bit of concern with the placement of the D-pad and the right joystick. I already have like some issues with certain games that I play on the ROG Ally where I get some slippage on the right joystick and do an accidental touch on the screen, and of course it affects how you're moving on the screen. So with the joystick and the D-pad closer to the screen, there might be some risk of accidental touching, but accidentally touching the screen. But I guess we'll just have to see how that turns out when folks get to review the device. Noting things that were not shown on the leak slides, so we didn't get a chance to see where the new placement of the SD card is located. Hopefully, it's not anywhere near the vents of the device. Hopefully, they got a good, cool location for where that port is located. We didn't get a chance to see where the placement of the USB 4 port is. I'm guessing it's going to be right by where the XG card or where the old XG port is located. We didn't get any mention in any of the leaks with respect to whether the new device is going to utilize Hall effect joysticks and triggers. I'm guessing with and this is total speculation, just me, just throwing that out there, with the lowering of the left joystick from the left trigger and buttons, that could accommodate the possibility of using Hall effect joysticks and triggers. I think there was an issue where somebody tried to install new joysticks, and I think they caught some interference between the location of joystick and the triggers, and so with it being lowered, maybe that invites the possibility of being able to use Hall effect sticks and triggers in the future. If they're not on this current device, they could be upgraded such with little effect, but that is something to be seen. But yeah, with respect of everything that's dropped so far, I'm looking forward to seeing what drops during this event on the second. Yeah, I do have some thoughts about this coming event. Um, when the original ROG Ally dropped, it dropped with first party gear from ASUS. So it dropped with a plug-in or wall plug dock that you can use to power device as well as transmit video signals from the plug using HDMI to your TV. Came with a set of earphones, set of controllers. Um, what else did it come with? I forget what else it came with. But as far as like things like skins, additional docks from third parties, cases, wasn't present. And you didn't see it for months. So I'm hoping that during this event that we at least get some idea of third parties offering up something to come with this new device, so that those who do decide to pick up this device day one or month one, month two, that they have some additional customization that they could add to their device. Hoping to at least see some renders from say JSOX or even handheld DIY, which have offered some pretty amazing backplates or accessories in general for all these handhelds. So hopefully we see something pop up from either one of those two during the event, or even as a pop up on one of their websites post event. Now, also speaking of ASUS, hopefully they do have some new first party stuff presented. So maybe they have some skins, maybe they have some protective cases, maybe a new dock to accommodate uh, the increase in size in this new device. If there aren't going to be third party vendors present with their device, at least have a full suite uh, of accessories ready to go for people to pick up at a reasonable price. um, and yeah, I think that's about it. Um, as far as price, it's another concern I have. So at least as far as the leaks, they're saying that the device might be $799, which I think is crazy. I think that's kind of high. Because if you think about it, the competitors that are going to be going against this device, you got the Legion Go Z1E. That's about $750 for the 16 gig, 1 terabyte version. Best Buy, at least in my area, currently has a device at $50 less. So we're talking $699. We also have some open boxes that are at $610. So this new device is going to be competing with that. Obviously, though, the ROG Ally X is going to have a much larger battery, so maybe that's justification for the $150 price bump. But you also got the MSI Claw, that's $799 for the 16 gig, 1 terabyte version. But at least with reviews currently, the Legion Go and current ROG Ally are much more performant than this device. Steam Deck also is going for $650 for the 1 terabyte version, if it's in stock. And then as far as the boutiques, you got the GPD Win Mini 8840U version, 32 gigs, 2 terabyte hard drive. That one's going for about $1,081 on Indiegogo. Then you got Ioneo with their 8840U 16 gigs, 1 terabyte. Now 16 gigs, 512 gigabyte version, going for about $803. Yeah, given the specs, I feel like this device should actually go for $699, the original MSRP, while dropping the current ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme and 512 gigs of memory drop that down to 550, I would feel that that would be the best fit. It's definitely not going to happen. From The Verge, they're saying that Asus is going to be jacking the price up on this current device. Yes, it is what it is. But given the state of how Asus's customer service is, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see if they hold to that. I do kind of feel maybe addition of an OLED screen would probably solidify putting this device at $799. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, we'll just have to see if it's worth it. But with that, I hope you guys enjoy the presentation on June the 2nd. I'm definitely going to be checking it out, seeing what all the new stuff is going to be involved with this device, as well as anything else that drops during Computex a few days later. If you like the video, please subscribe. And with that, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.